Transforming suffering and fear. Hello, dear one. We've all experienced suffering, from small losses to great separations in life. Sometimes, sorrow seeps deep into the heart, like a drop of water soaking through, and we feel we might never recover. But if we stop, take a deep breath, and look deeply, we may begin to see that suffering, too, can be transformed. Have you ever fallen in love with a cloud? One day, you look up at the sky and see a soft white cloud floating gently like cotton. You find yourself enchanted by its tender shape, the soft light it reflects, and the cool shade it casts upon the green fields below. You start to love that cloud, and you wish it could stay with you forever. But then, the cloud changes. Its shape is no longer the same. Other clouds gather, and the sky darkens. Rain begins to fall. There's no longer a cloud, it has become rain. You feel sorrow. You cry, longing for the cloud to return as it was. But if you know how to look deeply, you will see that the cloud is still there, in each gentle drop of rain. It has not disappeared, it's simply taken on a new form. In the Buddha's teachings, there is a practice called formlessness. Form refers to outer appearance. When we get caught in forms, we miss the deeper nature of reality. When the cloud becomes rain, we can still touch it if we know how to look deeply. The cloud hasn't died. It's smiling at us now. In every drop that nourishes the earth, we suffer because we cling to the old form and cannot recognize the new. We're trapped in the past and unable to see the continuation that's already unfolding. If you've lost a loved one and the pain is still there, remember what the Buddha taught. They have not truly disappeared. They have become a new manifestation, a new form. Look deeply, and you will see that your beloved is still here in a most wondrous way. And in that moment, the sorrow in your heart will begin to soften. Transformation. Let us take a closer look at the formation of a cloud. You can imagine water vapor rising from the earth, condensing in the cool air, and gradually a cloud appears in the sky. You know where the cloud came from. You understand the conditions that allowed it to manifest. With a bit of observation and with the practice of deep looking, you can see the true nature of the cloud and of yourself. Science can explain how clouds form, the journey they take, and where they go. But when you love a cloud with a mindful heart, you also know that the cloud is impermanent, and you learn to love without attachment, just like when you love someone. If you understand impermanence, you will cherish that person without clinging. You might say to the cloud in your heart, "Dear cloud, I know you are there, and I also know that one day you will change. You will no longer be a cloud, but will continue on as rain or mist or snow. But I promise to look deeply to see your continuation, and because of that, I will not suffer too much." If you forget about impermanence, you will suffer when the cloud disappears. You will cry out, "Oh no, where has the cloud gone? How can I live without?" But if you practice mindfulness, you will see that the cloud is still present. In the falling rain, in the mist, in the snow. The rain is singing, smiling. It is nourishing the plants, continuing the beautiful journey of the cloud. It is only because you forget to look deeply that you don't recognize the rain as the cloud you once loved. You cry, while the cloud gently calls to you, "My dear, I am right here. I have never left you." If you truly listen, you will smile through your tears. Sometimes you look at a floating cloud and wish you could be like that. light, free, drifting through the sky. You might also see the gentle rain falling and dream of being like the rain, nourishing all life, soaking into the earth, refreshing young sprouts. You think the cloud and the rain are two different things? What about snow? Pure and still atop the mountains, or the bubbling brook, clear as crystal. You see, they may seem different, but in truth, they are simply different manifestations of the same stream. They are one of the same essence, the same source, just like you and the one you love, just like you and life itself. All are part of one continuing flow. Fearlessness, the absence of fear. In chemistry, we call the essence of water H2O, 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. From that simple formula, water can appear in many forms: clouds, rain, snow, or flowing streams. Being a cloud is wonderful. Being rain is too. Snow and water are all beautiful and present to nourish life. If a cloud remembers that, then when it's time to transform into rain, it will no longer be afraid. It will know that in any form, it is still itself, still living fully and beautifully. If the cloud is not caught in ideas of being or non-being, birth or death, then there will be no fear. And from that, we learn something precious. Fearlessness is the foundation of true happiness. As long as we are worried, clinging and anxious, we are not truly living. But if we practice deep looking, we will clearly see our true nature. No birth, no death, no coming, no going. When you can see that clearly, fear will dissolve. You will be free, free from attachment, free from anger, free from the fear of loss. When you awaken to your fear, you step out of its shadow. And like the great ones, you will ride the waves of birth and death with a peaceful smile, manifestation, and hiddenness. When the conditions are right, a phenomenon manifests. When the conditions are no longer sufficient, it hides itself. It doesn't disappear. I am the same. When the right conditions arise, I manifest in this life. When the conditions are no longer sufficient, I cease to appear, but I don't go anywhere. I just hide. I am still there, in another form. If you've ever lost someone you love, if that pain still tightens your chest, then please stop for a moment and look deeply. There is a miraculous remedy to help you overcome that sorrow. It is the insight that the one you love was never truly born and never truly died. They never really came and never truly left. You suffer because you are attached to a form, to their appearance, their voice, their habits. And when that form is gone, you believe they are gone too. You call them the departed. But in truth, they are still here. They are with you. They are smiling through each breath, each step, each vivid memory. You ask, where did you go? Why did you leave me all alone? But they are still there. You just haven't been quiet enough to see. The cloud has never disappeared. It's just manifesting again as rain or mist or snow. Your loved one is like that too, still present in a new and deeper form. And when you truly understand this, the pain will dissolve like clouds melting into the open sky. Appearing in a new form. When we lose someone we love, the first thing we need to remember is they cannot become nothing. From being, we cannot become non-being. And from non-being, being cannot suddenly arise. Modern science says this clearly. Matter cannot be destroyed. It only transforms into energy. and energy doesn't disappear. It simply becomes something else. In the same way, your loved one cannot be annihilated. They are simply appearing in another form, a cloud in the sky, a gentle breeze, or the sparkle in a child's eyes. If you truly look deeply, you will see them in the simplest things of life. And you might smile softly and say, "My dear one, I know you are here with me. I know your nature is unborn, undying. I have not lost you. You are always here, breathing with me, living with me." All you need to do is return to the present moment. Pause and truly look into a leaf, a ray of sunshine, or a passing scent, and you will recognize they are here, not far away, never truly gone. Even your father or mother, though they have passed, they still live on, in every cell of your body, in each breath you take, and their true nature, like yours, is no birth, no death, no coming, no going. The truth is, you have never truly lost anyone. Even those who have left this world, they are still here in a new form, a deeper, more gentle presence. And when you see that, your suffering will begin to dissolve like morning mist under the rising sun. You will live again with a softer heart, a heart full of gratitude and a heart that is truly free. The story of the river and the cloud. There was a small stream born from the heart of the mountain. It was still very young. All it wanted was to rush to the ocean. It didn't know how to live in the present. It didn't know how to practice "I have arrived, I am home." It hurriedly flowed down to the lowlands and gradually became a river. As a river, it was forced to slow down. Its surface became calmer, and in that stillness, for the first time, the river began to reflect the clouds above. Pink clouds, silver clouds, white clouds. Beautiful, gentle, dreamy, The river fell in love with the clouds. But the clouds never stayed still. They drifted with the wind, floated far away, leaving the river lonely and longing. The river tried to chase after them, but it couldn't. And so the river suffered. One day, the sky turned stormy. The clouds were swept away. The sky was empty, quiet, blue. The river fell into despair. There were no more clouds. What's the point of living without clouds? The river thought, and wished to disappear. But it didn't know how to die. All night, the river wept. The crashing of waves against the shore was the sound of its sorrow. And in that very night, the river awakened. The river realized its nature was the same as that of the clouds. River and cloud, both are made of water. Why do I have to chase the cloud if I myself am also a cloud? In that very moment, the river was no longer a seeker. The river had returned to itself. The next morning, the cloudless blue sky became magical. The river no longer felt alone. It looked deeply and saw that the sky is the home of all clouds, and that the clouds had never really left the sky. The river realized the unborn, undying nature of clouds. It no longer believed in true separation. It no longer saw loss as real. Now, the river no longer just reflected the ever-changing clouds, but it could also reflect the silent sky, that which is always present, day and night. In the evening, the clouds returned, but now the river was no longer attached. It smiled and welcomed them all. No cloud was its own anymore. Goodbye, dear cloud. See you again after a gentle rain. The river now overflowed with peace. It no longer wished to rush to the ocean. It saw here and now is the most wonderful place to be. That night, the full moon lit up the entire river. The moon, the river, and the water meditated together. The river touched the miraculous freedom of the present moment, and it knew it had been liberated from all suffering. If you have ever been the river, if you've ever chased after a passing cloud, if you've ever felt lonely, empty, or lost, please pause. Take the hand of a friend. Look deeply. You will see what you've been searching for has always been here, still breathing with you. You are already what you wish to become. So why keep searching? You are a wonderful manifestation of life. The universe has woven millions of causes and conditions to make you. The Pure Land, nirvana, happiness, and freedom all lie within you. The same body. Have you ever wondered, what if you could clone yourself? Suppose science made it possible, taking cells from your body and creating 3 other human beings identical to you. Would those 3 be the same as you, or would they be entirely different? Today, science has already succeeded in cloning certain animal species, so if one day humans could do the same, then who are you? Are you truly a singular individual, or just a manifestation? If one body can give rise to many others, which one is the real you? And does that real you actually exist the way you think it does? When we practice, we learn to look deeply with mindfulness, concentration, and insight. That deep seeing helps us transcend dualistic notions, same or different, existence or non-existence, birth or death. If you ask the Buddha, this body and the 3 others born from my cells, are they the same or different? The Buddha might smile and reply, they are not the same, but not different either. Why? Because impermanence is the nature of all phenomena. In every moment, our body and mind are constantly changing. You are not the same person you were a single breath ago, nor the same as you were last night. We often live under the illusion that this body is fixed and unchanging. But in reality, each day, millions of cells in our body die, and millions of the new ones are born. Do you have a photo of yourself as a child? Have you ever looked at it and asked, is this really me? The 6-year-old child and your 60-year-old self, are they the same? Are they different? The answer is neither the same nor completely different. Without the 6-year-old, there would be no 60-year-old. Without the present, there is no past. Impermanence is the key that unlocks this seeming puzzle. With every inhale, every exhale, you are already a new person. Since you began watching this video, thousands of subtle changes have taken place in your body, and your mind too. Thoughts have come and gone, emotions have risen and faded, manifesting, then hiding, arising, then dissolving. An endless stream of continuation, like the river, the cloud, the flame, or the sunflower in the field. Nothing ever truly stands still. There is no fixed self in the middle. Only when you see this clearly can you touch true freedom. Where did the flame come from? Have you ever looked carefully at a flame? I can hold a match, strike it, and say, "Dear flame, please appear." And just like that, the flame appears. But if I ask the flame, where did you come from? The flame might smile and say, "Dear teacher, I did not come from anywhere and I am not going anywhere. When conditions are sufficient, I manifest. When conditions dissolve, I withdraw. That's all." This is the nature of no coming and the no going that the Buddha taught. Look more deeply at the flame on a candle. Do you think that flame is the same one from the match that lit it? Or is it a completely different flame? We may feel like it's the same flame, burning continuously for an hour, but actually in every moment it is changing. Constantly, that flame is fed by candle wax, by oxygen, and even the room itself is changing every second. Because the nourishing conditions are always shifting, the flame cannot be the same. But to say it's a completely different flame is not accurate either. So is that flame the same or different? If you look deeply, you'll see its nature is not the same, not different. With each passing second, new wax, new oxygen, changing temperature, the flame continues to manifest like a stream of flowing life. And that is also you. Are you the same person you were yesterday? Your cells have changed, your emotions have shifted, but to say you're completely different would be wrong. To say you're exactly the same is also not true. In between sameness and difference is the continuous transformation of impermanence, gentle and wondrous. When we transcend the notion of same and different, we begin to let go of clinging, of suffering. Because when we stop trying to hold on to a flame or insist that a person should never change, we will understand. Nothing is permanent, but nothing is ever lost. The flame of yesterday and the flame of today, just like the you of yesterday and the you of this very moment. They are continuation, neither born nor dying, neither coming nor going. And in that realization, there is freedom, there is peace, and there is deep, quiet joy. A contemplation on impermanence. In the darkness, someone holds a torch, and when they spin it quickly in a circle, we see a ring of fire appear. But in reality, there is no ring. It's only a series of small flames following one another, creating the illusion of a continuous circle. That perception is an illusion of something unchanging. Just like when you watch a movie, you see someone dancing gracefully and vividly, but in fact, it's just thousands of still images shown in quick succession. We are deceived by the sense of continuity, so we believe the person is truly dancing in real time. Likewise, when you look at someone you love, you think they are the same as yesterday or 10 years ago, but the truth is, they have changed moment by moment. It's like a bottle of milk you left at your neighbor's house. A few days later, when you come back, it has turned into cheese. You feel sad, you complain, this isn't my milk anymore, but it's the lack of understanding of impermanence that causes suffering. You ask, is cheese the same as milk? The answer is, it's not the same, but also not different, because it was the milk that transformed into cheese slowly, silently, without needing anyone's permission. The river you bathe in today is no longer the river of yesterday. The water has flowed on. The wind has shifted. And you are no longer the you of yesterday. No one can bathe twice in the same river. That is the insight of the Buddha, and also the insight of Confucius, of Heraclitus, and many other sages. There's a beautiful term in Buddhism, suchness, chun yu, which means reality as it is. Suchness is the ultimate truth, beyond all words and concepts, not being or non-being, not birth or death, not coming or going. There's no single condition, no single word that can capture that reality. You may call something a table or a flower, but what you call it is only a concept, not its suchness. Sometimes you get angry at your father and say, I have nothing to do with that man. But you don't realize you are his continuation. You're him in a new form. Look deeply at yourself and your father. Do you see the two of you as exactly the same or completely different? Neither the same nor different. That is suchness, beyond all distinctions. Even if you are now just a 12-year-old boy or girl, never having had children of your own, still, within you are all the elements necessary for a child, a grandchild, to manifest. All it takes is time. Just a few more conditions, and the continuation will happen. Naturally, gently, without force. When you truly see this, you will touch suchness, the as-it-is nature of all things. No more grasping, no more discriminating, no more suffering because of change. Only peace remains, and a spacious insight like the open sky. No birth, no death, no coming, no going. Not the same, not different. Have you ever thought that the sheet of paper you're holding was once a cloud? The Buddha taught, nothing truly comes from somewhere, and nothing truly goes anywhere. We, flowers, mountains, clouds, stars, the earth, we all share the same nature of non-coming, non-going. Death is not a transition from being to non-being. Birth is not the sudden appearance of a person from nothingness. There is only manifestation when conditions come together, and there is only withdrawal when conditions dissolve. This piece of paper is the same. You might think it was born in some paper factory, but if you look more deeply, you will see it existed long before that. The paper used to be sunlight, a tree, a cloud, rain, and minerals from the earth. The day it was produced was merely the day it continued to manifest in a new form. It did not come from nothing into something. It came from the cosmos and manifested. You might ask the paper, "Dear paper, did you exist before you were born?" And the paper might reply, "Yes, I did. I was the forest, the rain, the sun, and the soil. The day I took this form was just a continuation. I could mere come from nothing." When you touch the surface of the paper, if you are mindful, you are also touching the forest, the cloud, the sunlight, Mother Earth. Because if even one of those elements were missing, this paper could not be here. If you remove the rain from the paper vanishes. If you remove the forest, the paper is no more. If there is no sunlight, there is no tree and no paper. And if you look even more deeply, you will see the paper is not made only of trees. There is the logger who cut the tree, the baker who made the logger's lunch, and the founders of the paper company, the inventors of the machines, the scientists who developed pulping techniques. All of those conditions are not something outside of the paper. They are one with the paper. Have you ever asked, how can I say that the forest is the paper? The forest is outside the paper, but if you take the forest out of the paper disappears. If you take the rain away from the forest, the trees cannot live. If you return light to the sun, there will be no paper. When you touch a sheet of paper, you are touching the entire universe. And the same is true for you. You may think your birthday was the beginning of your existence, but that's not true. You were already there, in your father, in your mother, in your ancestors, and in everything that was nourishing you. So next time you celebrate your birthday, change the lyrics of the song to Happy Continuation Day. Because if birth is a continuation, then so is death. And if you practice deeply, then at the end of your life, you can sing, Welcome, my continuation day. Can you try to make a piece of paper disappear? Light a match, burn it, and watch closely. Witness the transformation, not just the burning. The flame does not come from nowhere. It only manifests when the conditions are sufficient. The paper ignites, and you see the smoke rising. You see the ash falling to the earth. You feel the warmth radiating into the space around you, even touching your skin. The paper has become smoke, ash, heat. One day, the smoke will rise into the sky and join the clouds. It may fall as a raindrop onto your forehead. The paper has not disappeared. It continues in a new form. You pour the ash onto the soil. Perhaps a year later, the paper will return as a tiny flower or a tender blade of grass. The heat from the burning paper has entered the cosmos and your own body. And if you had sensitive enough instruments, you could detect its trace in faraway galaxies. One small piece of paper can touch the Milky Way. The Buddha taught, nothing is ever truly lost. Meditation helps you touch that reality and see clearly that the paper was never truly born, because to be born means to come from nothing into something. That's not true to reality. You are the same. You existed before your so-called birth. Your birthday is just a continuation. And because you were not born from nothing, you cannot disappear into nothing. As long as fear remains in you, your happiness will still be limited. We suffer because we're caught in ideas. When we release those ideas, we are free. You may go to a meditation center hoping to ease your suffering, but the greatest gift you can receive is the insight into your own unborn, undying nature. That is the deepest freedom the Buddha has given us. Have you seen a sunflower? It doesn't come from a seed alone. It contains clouds, because without clouds, there is no rain. It contains the sun, because without light, no plant can grow. It contains soil, fertilizer, the gardener, time, space. It wasn't created, it manifested when the conditions came together. The farmer didn't create the flower. He was simply one condition among many that allowed the flower to appear. When you visit Plum Village in July, you'll see sunflowers blooming across the hills. But if you come in April, the hills are still bare. The farmer already sees the flowers in the soil. They are just waiting for the warmth, and then they will smile. You cannot say something exists just because it manifests, or say it doesn't exist just because it hasn't yet appeared. Look deeply, and you will see you have always been here, not as a concept, but as a living truth. Dear friend, we've just journeyed together, a journey into our suffering, into impermanence, into continuation, and into that very human fear that lives in each of us. If you still feel sadness, if there are still tears in your eyes, please know, you are not alone. With every mindful breath, every mindful step, you are walking the path of peace. You are learning to hold your fear and transform it with understanding and love. Whenever you feel lost in life, remember, you are the continuation of your ancestors, of the earth and sky, of love itself. You have never been truly lost. You are always here, beautiful and miraculous. There is no need to search far. Happiness, healing, and freedom are already available in this very moment. Thank you for sitting with me, for listening, for breathing together. If this video brought you a moment of peace, a little clarity, or a gentle lightness in your heart, please leave a comment below. Because what you share may be the light someone else needs to find their way. If you wish to continue the practice, you're warmly invited to explore more videos here on Mindful Sanctuary, a space where every moment is a chance to return, to live more deeply, more gently. And if you haven't already, please hit subscribe so that each week we can sit together again and breathe as companions on the path of awakening. May your day be peaceful and steady, firm like the earth, and light like the drifting clouds.